What is up, you guys? Today, we got the Disney capsule behind me. We got the Disney Spirit jersey on. This is Disneyland, but we're going to be talking about Disney World, Magic Kingdom. Disney Parks just released a big, juicy detail to the new Cars Land being installed in Frontierland over there in Magic Kingdom. And we got to talk about it, how it's affecting all of Magic Kingdom from here on out. Let's talk about it. Traveling back to the Disney Nerd for Life days, I feel like Disney Nerd all the time because, Disney is a big passion of mine. I can't wait to do the Disney College program, hopefully. And someday, hopefully, become a Disney Imagineer. That's my dream. So we're talking about things Disney today. And Disney Parks released this image for the Cars Land. Now, this image contains a lot of details, and I want to talk about everything individually. Starting off when this was announced, obviously, this was announced a bit ago. I made a video on it about this and the Villains Land coming to Magic Kingdom, which isn't being constructed till years from now, because I don't think that's going to be done till 2035. They say 2030. I'm giving them an extra 5 years. But Cars Land is actually coming pretty quickly, pretty soon. Not too soon. I give probably in 5 years or so, because Disney takes a little bit to do their projects, and especially since this is a whole land. It's not a massive land. It's going to be a very small land, but still. But anyway, Disney released this a while back and saying that it was in Frontierland. And I gotta admit, these images and videos just didn't scream Frontier to me. It was snowy mountains and it was the West. And I was like, this is weird. I don't know if I like this. It's the West Coast. It doesn't really scream Frontierland. At the time, they said that they were going to be removing Tom Sawyer Island, Rivers of America. And I was like, you guys are just destroying Liberty Square and Frontierland for me. And I just didn't feel that Cars fit the vibe of Frontierland at all. And I was very upset with it. As a person, I'm going to be honest, I never went to Tom Sawyer Island, never been on Rivers of America, so I couldn't be too upset. But I was upset enough because just the atmosphere of Rivers of America and Tom Sawyer Island in Magic Kingdom, it makes Frontierland so unique and so immersive. So I was a little bit upset when they announced this land. I was like, okay, I like Cars. I don't love Cars, the movie. I don't love the series Cars that much. But I do enjoy them, and I enjoy Lightning McQueen and stuff. I liked Racing Academy over in Hollywood Studios when they had that for that little time. But I very much enjoy the Cars movies, but I wasn't really rocking with the idea of the Cars land. That is until today. They announced this image, like I showed you before. And I don't know, this image, this concept art, now again, concept art. It's not official. We're not going to really be seeing this until it actually comes out. But this concept art looks very interesting. And I was like, wow, this actually looks pretty cool. And I think Disney kind of changed some things with their concept arts and stuff, because it just feels like a different vibe. And it says in it says underneath in the description for the image and stuff on Twitter and Instagram and all that this is inspired by the American frontier. Seeing that, I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. That's pretty much a mix of Frontierland and Liberty Square, and that's where it's kind of going into. It's going in the middle of that. And honestly, I feel like they're just kind of combining Liberty Square and Frontierland now, because looking at this, it's kind of like they're turning Frontierland into Critter Country or Critter County or whatever in Disneyland. I've only been to Disneyland once, didn't really get to explore that land, but it kind of has that same vibe. Where instead of it being a desert, there's forest. There is a desert section with Big Thunder Mountain. Then there's this bayou with Tiana. And then there's going to be a Cars area, but it explores the different regions, this snowy mountain area and all that. And I'm like, that's actually kind of cool. They're kind of re-theming Frontierland and some of Liberty Square into this immersion of American frontier. So it's not Frontierland, it's American frontier, I guess. I don't know if they're gonna call that the American frontier, or if they're gonna call it Cars Land, what they're gonna do. Guys, I'm an idiot. I just saw the image again, and it says, welcome to Pittston Peak. That's the new name. Pretty cool. I'm vibing with it. Maybe the Pittston Peak is Big Thunder Mountain. Is that Pittston Peak? Or is it Big Thunder Mountain? Who knows? But Pittston Peak, or is that the city that Big Thunder Mountain's in? Who knows? I'm excited for it. But yeah, that's the new name, I guess. Maybe for Frontierland, or is it just this little area? Who knows? Or is Pitson Peak in Frontierland? We'll see. But what's really cool is we got this little character down here, and he is actually a Disney character from old Disney cartoons that are about like Yellowstone and all that and the American frontier. I'm gonna put his name on the side of it because I don't remember his name currently. But he's actually, it looks pretty cool. Like you can notice his small feet, the small wheels on the truck, and the same outfit types. And I kind of like that idea. I really kind of like that. I like the concept of, hey, how about we do like Disney characters but as cars, and like we have like this state park like ranger who's going to be a car animatronic as like the pre-show to the ride. I think that's a great idea, and I like it because they also said that pretty much this animatronic is going to be a Cars themed Mr. Potato Head, like Mr. Potato Head before you're going on Toy Story Mania, but in Cars, but as like a pre-show. I like that concept. I like that idea, and yeah, I gotta say, kind of makes me excited because just seeing like Lightning McQueen and stuff and all that, I was like, I don't really know if that fits the theme of this or like these specific cars, but this guy, it makes me excited. It makes me feel like, wow, this actually does feel like Frontierland, but on a different level, like a different font style of Frontierland. Now, they did announce some closing dates because they're unfortunately closing Rivers of America and Tom Sawyer Island still. But some people are still hopeful that there's like this river around this Cars Land. They're like, oh my God, they're keeping Rivers of America. They're not. There's just no way. I physically don't think they're going to keep Rivers of America. I don't think they're able to with this concept of this ride that they're going to make. I don't think there's any way that they're keeping Rivers of America, unfortunately. So I think they're going to get rid of that, and I think this river's going to be smaller, but they're still keeping this river aspect. And I got to say, if this is what the land actually looks like, I think it still has the same aesthetically pleasing vibes to it, but also gives us a cool attraction, and I'm very excited for that. And I gotta admit, I think this whole image changed my perspective on this attraction land. Because like I said, I was against it. I was a person that was like, no, I like Rivers of America. I like Tom Sawyer Island. Just being there. I like the atmosphere of that. Never went on them. I'm gonna be honest, I never went to them. So this Cars Land, I'm probably gonna go on it. And if it's still aesthetically pleasing like Rivers of America and Tom Sawyer Island, I'm not against it. There are a few things in here that I do want to address. Like I said, Rivers of America and Tom Sawyer Island are closing, and they're actually going to be closing July 7th. So by July, you can't go on them anymore, and I'm actually going to Disney World July 20th. That's the day I get to go down there, or the 21st, I believe. So I won't be able to get to go on them. Which kind of is sad, but I probably wasn't going to anyway. But starting July and August, they're going to start closing that down. Going to be a lot of construction. Big Thunder Mountain is obviously still closed throughout the whole year, adding refurbishments. So Frontierland's going to be kind of in a weird state where it's transforming and there's a lot of construction in the Magic Kingdom in Frontierland. This also affects the train in Magic Kingdom because now, starting July 7th, they're shutting down the Frontierland's train station. This doesn't mean the train is closing. The Main Street train is still going to go around Magic Kingdom. You can still go on it. A ride that I do want to go on this year because I've yet to been on the train, actually. But they're just closing the Frontierland station, which is kind of sad, but not really because the train's still open. If the train shut down again, that would be a sad thing to see. But it's still open. But for now, Frontierland Station is closed starting July 7th with those refurbishments and construction updates for this Cars Land. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you like this video, make sure you like it. If you really like it, make sure you subscribe. And if you want to see future videos like this, make sure you ring that bell in the description down below. With all that being said, since this is a Disney video, Disney Nerd out. Peace.